My name is Lecturer Clergy Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, speaking United States of Kenya Republic, Nairobi National Government. I'm here in Embakasi East Constituency, Embakasi Ward Assembly, and we are going to see the Word of God, which is normally God first and other things for us. And our topic today is what I have said sometime about sin. What is sin? In the Bible, we are told sin is transgression of the law, breaking the law, or missing the mark of righteousness or right direction. So, what is sin? Sin is a transgression of the law or breaking the law in that case. And also, you go now do other things which are not pleasing to God and to humanity. And we are going to read 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. And John 3, verse 4, the introduction is that it was written by John, the apostle of Jesus Christ. The one who was loved more by Jesus is the one who wrote this First John book of the Bible. And he wrote when he was 80 years old. He wrote to encourage and strengthen the believers of group of churches near the Ephesus today in the western half of what is now today the country of Turkey. So he wrote to them to encourage the communities or tribes and races that time who were springing up throughout that Roman Empire. And by so doing that, they lose the structure of authority and organization of being, righteous people. People started messing up like Kenya today. So, 1 John chapter 3, verse 4, it reads like this. Everyone who sin break the law. In fact, sin is lawlessness. So that is what the Word of God says in 1 John 3, 4, or chapter 3, verse 4. I repeat it again, everyone who sin break the law. In fact, sin is lawlessness. That is what the Bible says here. The law can be, people can break the law, even those in position of authority. All right? And also the followers of those who are in position of authority. They can break the law. Like, for example, now, we have a mass action going on in Kenya Republic. It has started now. This is about the third day. And it will now escalate to about 20 this month, March, to people to march to State House of Nairobi, city capital. State House, the presidency office, executive office of the president, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, to unseat him or to destroy him or to overthrow him in that case. So what is going on in Kenya now is that what is happening. And in Kenya 10 Constitution, 2010 Constitution, Article 43, Clause 1C, it is stated clearly that everyone who is called Kenyans as a right to be free from hunger, or to have enough basic necessities of life like food and water and a clean environment, and also free health care for those who cannot afford, and free education, and to have also adequate food acceptable quality in that case. So I said in Kenya 2010 Constitution, Article 43, Clause 1C, state clearly that every Kenyan has the right to be free from hunger and to have adequate food acceptable quality to the family or to himself in that case. The right to food access is also a part of the International Covenant on Economical, Social, and Cultural Rights. All right? In what we call ICESRC worldwide. It's a part of International Covenant on Economical, Social, and Cultural rights or norms in that case. Therefore, it is the duty of the current president, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, government, to save dying of hunger poor Kenyans from all races, all tribes, all religions, and from all county government from dying from anger, which of course now has started. People are eating dogs, meats, even Samburu County government, and Nairobi, and Turkana Pokot, and even other counties, Manderas, and all other counties. All right, because of lack of food. All right, and in that case, then we can say the president is illegitimate in office. Then in that case, if we cannot meet the standard, which is actually stated in that constitution, which as I said, in Kenya 2010 Constitution, Kenya Republic, Article 43, Clause 1C, state clearly that we deserve to have the right freedom free from anger kind of situation, and to have adequate food, acceptable quality, and other social welfare, like free healthcare, like good environment, good sanitation, clean water in that case, and food enough, and also free healthcare and free education for those who cannot afford. And when the president now failed to do so, that is why now we are seeing actually as bringing up kind of resistance, people resisting this government of Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Yes, and if you are wise enough in Kenya, all right, you have to see that actually the government has failed totally. Okay, to provide well with social welfare. We are now heading toward almost 1 year. We have concluded our election, controversial election actually last year, on August 9, 2022. From August 9, 2022 up to now, it is 7 months. It's close to 1 year now. Nothing is happening. The president is keeping on sucking people from the previous government, claiming that they are very corrupt, and he was also the deputy president of the last regime. So what we want to say actually, the president himself, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, together with deputy president and his administration now, new administration, okay, 13th parliament, both politicians and administrators, they are breaking the law by not providing Kenyan citizens what is required. Okay, in the Constitution, 2010 Constitution, they are not providing people with what we need, like now what I've already mentioned. So in that case, then, I, Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, all right, I would like actually the president to know the function of the county government or federal states, which are interdependent. If he doesn't know, all right, if he doesn't know that the function of because he doesn't know that we are independent, states, and we can opt actually to resist his government together with the chief of opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga, and people will end up actually on 20th at State House to remove him, because he seems not to know the function of the county governments, which are interdependent. I would like to tell him that the function of the county government or federal state, which are 47 of them, with the 290 constituencies, and 1,450 wards assembly parliaments, the functions of the national government to provide people with county health services. All right, there are about 10 things they're supposed to do. The county government, for example, Nairobi county government or Samburu county government and others, all right, and Kiambu and many others, they're about 47. They're supposed to provide the people with county health free services. They are also supposed to control of air pollution, public nuisance, and outdoor advertisements or advertising issues. And number 3, they are also supposed to provide you with cultural activities in a public entertainment and public amenities. And 4, they are supposed also to provide you the right transport by road, providing tarmac roads across the counties, okay, and also for animal control and welfare of animals control, and also trade developments and regulations, And also they are supposed to provide the county planning and development programs, yearly. And they are supposed to, to teach people about agriculture in order to meet their both agriculture in livestock and also in farming, so that we will have enough food security. They are also supposed to provide you with the free primary education and village polytechnics and implementation of national specific policies. All right? And also, they're supposed to provide you with the county public works, including water, which is clean water, and sanitation environment. And also, they're supposed to provide the firefighting and of disasters, okay, and also management system, proper management system in case of such kind of disasters occurs. And they're supposed also to control what we call control of drugs and pornography, so that people cannot go on messing, sinning, doing some other funny things. And finally, they're also supposed to ensure public participation in county governance annual development programs. Yes, that is what actually enshrined in 2010 Constitution. And if the government cannot actually do that, then they can opt to be they will opt to be independent fully, because now they're interdependent. And the function of the national government, if the president does not know his office, the function of national government, where now is an executive office, and also he has now in that in three arms of government, actually the parliamentarians, okay, the parliaments, both parliament, the upper house of Senate, and also the lower house of national parliaments, and also judiciary. And the function of the national government in that case, one of them, if the president does not know, I want to remind him, they are supposed to, to coordinate what we call national public works and housing policy. Okay? And national defense and police services also in the security system. I said they are supposed to do national public works and housing policies to provide people with a settlement proper, free of charge. And also they're supposed to provide national defense like Kenya Army properly, services, and also give them enough, what they needed, but in actually in the in their work, like armors vehicles, and also better weaponry, and also better salaries payment, and also any other good things, housing and so forth, for the national defense forces, Kenya Army, the Kenya Navy, and Kenya Force, and also police services, all units, including paramilitary general service units. And also they're supposed to provide tourism policies, what is required, like security and good, protection. Okay, wherever these tourists will now come in. And also they're supposed to provide foreign affairs and immigration, not citizenship. And also the courts should be in judiciary, should actually exercise what we call, just type of justice. And also they're supposed to provide education policies with good standards, curricula, and examinations, and also the granting of university charters, because now we have so many fake universities in Kenya. And also they're supposed to provide what we call transport and communication in a proper way. And they're supposed also to provide agricultural and veterinary policies to all for 7 county government, 290 constituencies, and 1,450 parliamentary regions. And also they are supposed to provide health and energy policies. All right? And they are supposed to provide also funds. All this we need funds, what I've mentioned already, in both national functions and also national government functions. They are supposed to provide economic planning and monetary policies in a high standard. All right? And also they're supposed to provide their national policy statistics and labor standards. All right? So our president is a sleepy president. He doesn't understand all this. All right? And that's why I want to remind him, Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, his work. Otherwise, he's not supposed to be in office together with the deputy president and his entire administration. They're supposed to leave. All right? And to conclude this matter, after now I've mentioned all this, okay? It is actually wise enough also the president to avoid being so hostile in his administration. All right? Because now they are so hostile. They are harassing the former regime, which of course he was part of them, saying that they have been so corrupt and they're so bad. All right? Okay? And actually intimidating them and making so of them, many of them to be so frustrated, like the former internal security minister is under, CA. Fred Matiang'i is now not sleeping in his house in Nairobi. He's just running here and there, sleeping in people's houses because he's afraid of his life. All right. So the president is started a kind of a hostile kind of type of behaviors, which is we don't attain. Okay, together with his administrators, and that's why now civil war is becoming so eminent. All right, and we don't have such kind of hostility, whereby those in power are using powers to become so hostile in harassing other human beings. And also they are not supposed also, all right, in other words, to be indecisive kind of types of leaders, whereby they are keeping on postponing good decisions, indecisive kind of leadership, type of hostile kind of indecisive leadership of President Ruto, whereby they are keeping on postponing, having all the time meetings and wasting money at the State House and any other prestigious lodges around the country with its administrators, both political and administration units, in a decisive kind of types of behaviors. They don't actually conclude their matters. They are repeating or using money. Every day 4.8 billion shillings, millions, 4.8 million, close to 5 millions per day, is wasting our taxpayers' money when people are dying in a decisive kind of behaviors type. Okay? They don't conclude matters. I don't know what they are fearing. If they want to approve to help people, they don't do it. They will say that you have to wait after their meetings. They are also complainants type of human beings. They are ever complaining more than even the opposition that the government is bad, the government is broke. Why can't they not improve the government? So if they and they are the one who are in leadership, why are they saying that we don't have money? And they have been in the previous government. The president now new president, he was the deputy president of our last government. All right. So we don't need to become a complainer type of leader together with administration. Neither type of human beings who are unable to solve any problem, because now this administration is unable to solve any problem. All right, which is prevailing now in Kenya, among other weaknesses. So in that case, I can conclude this matter by saying the president is in office illegitimately, in a legitimate kind of way. Is not supposed to be in office. President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and I don't actually regret to say so. I don't regret at all to say now he's in the office illegally. Although Raila Amolo Odinga is very old man, and he was actually his right was stolen by force by Dr. William Samoei Ruto. They have rigged elections. Also, Raila Amolo Odinga now is so angered, and he has started now mass action. But he is also doing something wrong. I should say that he's breaking the law by doing what? Raila Amolo Odinga is now dividing the country into the segments or division. He has now taken a block of Bantus against Nilotes, because the president is the current president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, belong to Nilotes group, my group, Nilotes group in Kenya, which we normally refer them as Kamatusa, I being the chairman. Kalenjin, Maasai, Turkana, and Samburu community tribes, who are warlocks. Now Raila Amolo Odinga is part of us, but we regard the Luos normally as a lower class Nilotes. They are not warlocks. So now he's being misused by Bantus, all right, for them to again to take over the government. Okay? And they have now actually outwitted even the current president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, sorry to say so. They have outwitted or tricked him to have now a chain of succession in case of his government failure. For example, now the head of Kenya Defense Forces, Army of Kenya, is actually a Bantu. Chief of General Staff of Kenya Army, the Navy, and the Kenya Air Force and the Army is Robert Kibushi, is a Kikuyu. So even in case now this government messes up, he will take over as a president. All right, for the time being, which we cannot tell, or alternatively another Bantu, which is a Luya, alternatively to be a president after this failure of this government. Not Raila Amolo Odinga. Even if he will has to succeed, which he will not, on March 20th, this month on Monday, next Monday but one, all right. If he will succeed to overthrow the government, he will not also be the president, because now he was also tricked that even though he will be used to overthrow the government, the constitution cannot allow him immediately. The Speaker of National Assembly, which is about to also Luya, called Watangula, will take over the government again. If now Robert Kibushi will not be, take over, he will have another Bantu, and continue, another third one also will be just a Bantu, obvious, because now the president was actually tricked. Now the current new president, Dr. William Samarita, all right, they was told by by Bantus to remove Watangula being a senator of Kakamega, Bungoma, I mean Bungoma County Government, to come and become the Speaker of National Assembly, and he resigned, having been elected, with the hope that he knew this government is not going far because it's a broke government. There's no money. They have already looted everything. The 12th parliament have taken all the money, honestly speaking, including the deputy president, which is now the president himself. That's why now he's so quiet. He doesn't want to arrest anyone or prosecute anyone. He's also part of the system. So what am I saying? Saying is lawlessness in that case. And I've reminded the president about his functions in his executive office of the presidency, in national parliament, level, that the government is supposed to, to know that we human beings, we deserve to be served. Okay? Okay? The president is not our boss, he is our servant. He needs to be a public servant, together with all its administration, including Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. They are there to serve us. They are not bosses. They should know that. We have actually employed them, and we can sack them. We have the capacity as people's power to sack them. All right? And that's why now, the mass action is on. Okay? And if they don't improve, as they have now stated, they don't actually reduce the cost of living, okay, to a reasonable standard. People are dying of hunger, eating dogs all over the country, and other, food which is not actually acceptable to human, standard. Okay, and drinking contaminated waters. Okay, some of them are full of feces, human wastes. All right, even here in Ambakasi, where I am, let people come and see. People are taking contaminated, dirty water. That's why recently they came and give people some prevention of diarrhea, cholera, drugs. How can you prevent something if you are continuing eating, drinking dirty water? And all over Nairobi and other county government, also for 7 county government, people are drinking dirty water, contaminated water, no food. All right. So what do I want to say? Raila Amolo Odinga should do actually the right thing also himself, to have all tribes, 42 tribes, to be on his side in mass action. Not only Bantus, all right, together with his Luo, a lower class of, Nilotics. We want actually the country to be to have an image of a country which actually comprises of all 42 tribes. Because now the war now is going to break, a civil war, whereby Raila now is going to be a loser in a way, because I am a Nilot myself, and I'm the chairman of Kamatusa since 1992 to 2023 now. President Moi, retired president, the late president, the second president, has given me an okay. I was his spiritual affairs instructor or advisor in that case. at the Africa Inland Church Kabartonjo, Baringo County Government, Chad, 2022. And I went there also to do my internship, 1999. And he told me to be his pastor advisor, spiritual affairs, technical advisor. And I was. And I have advised him even 2000. When Raila came and joined him with his party called National Development Party, Democratic Party, I mean, NDP, I told him, let's leave Raila Odinga because he's not a reliable leader and he's a very coward man. So he left him, and Raila was actually told to carry on his business alone. I was the one who have told President Moi like that, and he obeyed me, and he did that. Raila Odinga is actually a very coward man. He normally win elections, but he's being tricked and refused to be sworn in. And instead of him taking action, going to State House, he normally goes to a different direction. He went at one time, January 30th, 2018, to Uhuru Park to sworn himself as the People's Republic of Kenya president of Luo only and Bantus. Huh? Then he went to his house after that kind of function and stayed. Why did he not go to State House and sit actually the retired President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who have tricked him again second time 2022 to allow his deputy to win election? All right? And he was the one who won election, Raila Amolo Odinga. 4 independent electoral boundary commission officers have said yes, led by Lady Cherera. 4 of them, okay, 2 women and 2 men. They said Raila Amolo Odinga won election on August 9, 2022. And the 3 plus together with the IBC chairman, Shepukati, 3 of them, including him, said Ruto won election. How can 3 people defeat 4 in a court of law? And they are all working class, and they know each of them what is happening in the election. So 4 of them said Raila Amolo Odinga won election, and the 3 said he did not win election. So whom are we going to follow? Obviously, the majority are the winners. In any court of law, in any kind of balloting, kind of counting, whichever you go and people are voting. And that's why even now, whoever vote normally win election is the one with the upper hand of, votes. So even now we are to call those 7, commissioners, independent electoral commissioners of Kenya Republic. 3 of them will say no, Raila Amolo Odinga did not win election, and 4 will say yes, he has won election. So who is the winner? Raila Amolo Odinga, obviously. Even though we go today to International Court of World Justiciable Court, International Court of Law, that is Hague, okay, International Criminal Court of Law, Hague, in Netherlands. Obviously, Raila Amolo Odinga will win elections. He's the one who won election. But as normally is a kind of behaviors of being very coward and hostile in decision making. Also himself also he has that kind of weakness. He was a little tricked. I did not win, and he did not win to be sworn in, but he was a winner. So what do I want to say to conclude this matter? What is sin? Sin is lawlessness, and Raila Amolo Odinga is not breaking the law to march to State House to unseat the president who does not understand his job. All right? He is actually right. I should say he's right in a way. Raila Amolo Odinga is right. The only mistake he's doing now is now bringing a war of 2 kind of ethnicity, kind of blocks, which is Nilot versus Bantus. And we have another third party normally called Kushite, which are minority in Kenya. They will now choose whichever way they will go to. Either they will join Nilot, my bloc, okay, and the president bloc, or Raila Amolo Odinga Bantus bloc together with minority Nilots and Bantus together. So what I want to say here, Raila Amolo Odinga need to be very careful. You need to consult me, all right, before 20th March 2022, 2023, I mean, before next Monday, which is just some few days to come. All right, today is 11, it's about 9 days remaining. And next Monday, but 1. So you need to consult me. I, Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, so that I will advise him on how we can go about, this issue. All right, whether we can retreat and leave it and seek for, a dialogue together with the president, and if we fail to, in that case, then there's no otherwise but mass action to take over his course, to dethrone him or to overthrow him, and on March 20th. Now, in that case, March, on Monday. Otherwise, there's a man called Mudavadi also, the prime minister now of this new government. Is also seeking the same. He wants actually the current president, and Raila Amolo Odinga, and all of us, other presidential aspirants also of 2022, to have a dialogue with the president. All right. We are about 42. I was also one of the aspirants. I wanted to fight for the presidency, executive office, and Jubilee Reformation Movement. But the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, closed the door for us. Particularly I myself and the current president, now deputy president that time, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. So we opted to go another different direction. I joined actually in the independent Tumaini Liberation Movement Party, and I became number 2, in that case, deputy president. And then we are cleared by regional political parties and the Ruto, and also Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission, Chief Kati. My president that time, 2022, and being the deputy president, was none other than His Excellency Gugubo Jeremiah from Bugoma County, Luya, Bantu, and I was deputizing him. And it was nearly to win 207 election. He was about to win, and he repeated again 2022. But we have been, the president, President Uhuru Kenyatta, told us to retreat as we don't destroy the country. And we are about that 8 aspirants with the deputy president as well. And we agreed because President Uhuru Kenyatta got to call us at the Bomas of Kenya. And he told us actually, let us allow 4 people to go to the ballot paper for president and deputy president, which we have agreed not to destroy the country. And they also promised us they will offer us job, but no, we have not got any job at all. This government now is so hostile. So it means now we will all be in our opposition, indirectly, in a way. So Mudavadi, also prime minister of Ruto government, wanted also, I second the same what I'm saying. He wanted the president to have a dialogue with all of us, not only Raila Amolo Odinga, but all of us, those presidential aspirants and the deputy presidents, so that we can see how we can go about with the country. Otherwise, if we fail to have a stiff-necked or stubbornness like Pharaoh in the Bible, if the president became like Pharaoh in the Bible, President Ruto will give him what he wants. All right? We will allow him what he wants. If he wants to become so hard-hearted president, like what is found in Exodus 11, verse 3. God can harden sometimes rulers like Pharaoh hearts to bring a destruction to them. So I want also the president and deputy president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the current Kenya president, because he knows the Bible, like the way I know most likely, but he's not a trained pastor, but he's so eager to read the Bible. And also deputy president likewise, married priest, Dorcas, all right, Pastor Dorcas. Let them also go and read Exodus chapter 11, verse 3. Why does God harden some rulers' hearts to destroy them, like what he did to Pharaoh, and caused a lot of plagues in Egypt, but his heart was so hard. He became so stubborn to an extent of even the his firstborn died, and all other animals and human beings also lost lives. And also himself also died in a very mysterious death, the King Pharaoh of Egypt, when he refused to heed God's commandments from a servant of God like Moses, like me. So let the president, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, go and read Exodus chapter 11, verse 3, to say that God can harden people's heart, rulers' heart, when he want to destroy them. Normally, Mungu anaweza kufanya roho ya viongozi kuwa ngumu sana wakati Mungu anataka kumaliza hao. Alright? And hiyo inapatikana katika kitabu ya Kutoka sura ya 11 mstari wa 3. Alright? It can sometimes harden people's heart and also rulers, president, kings' hearts when you want to clear them on planet Earth, their leadership and they themselves. And we don't actually President Ruto also to go that way. It will be very dangerous to him and to his entire families, together with the deputy and also administrators and politicians. And we have to warn them first. If they refuse to heed the advice, well, we give them what they want. Okay? Their blood will not be in our hands. In Exodus, in Ezekiel 3, verse 9. All right? Ezekiel 3, verse 9. Their blood will not be in our hands. We have told them. I have told them. And probably other leaders have told them that they need to serve Kenyans in a diligent, kind of effective and efficient leadership. Otherwise, they need not to be there at all. We have employed them. They are our servants. They are not our bosses. They should know that. It is I myself. I have actually done a mistake because I've chosen President Ruto when I went to social hall here in Bakasi East Constituency. I remember very well. I have chosen the current president together with Deputy as my president, of which I've done wrong. God forbid. God forgive me, because I'm not benefiting in anything. I've also chosen Sakaja, all right, from actually, that block of Kenya Kwanza. I've also chosen Raila Amolo Odinga, Sifuna, senator. I've also chosen Raila Amolo Odinga, that lady called Basaris. I've also chosen, Nyatika, Raila type. All right. So I've chosen the president side, which is Dr. William Samuel Ruto. I've chosen the whole Embakasi knows, because I used to tell people, even I do campaign here and I tell them whom to choose. I've also chosen Babu Owino. Okay, myself. Everybody knows here. So I've given Raila Amolo Odinga three elective positions. I've not only chosen him, okay, because I cannot, I was just having one ballot. I've not chosen Raila Amolo Odinga, honestly speaking. I'm a priest, I don't cheat. All right? And I've given Raila Amolo Odinga 3 candidates. That is the MP of Bakasi East Constituency, that young man called Babu. I've chosen him. I've chosen also Sifuna, or senator for Raila, which is Kenya Asmio. I've chosen also Bazaris, women representative, which belong to Raila Amolo Odinga. And I've only chosen the president, the current president, on his side, okay, and and the deputy president, obviously, regarding, because they are in one ballot. So I've given Raila Amolo Odinga, those kind of elective positions. Okay, I've chosen the president Ruto. I've chosen his deputy, obvious, because in one connected kind of ballot paper. I've chosen Sakaja, okay, which is actually Kenya Kwanza for president. So president and his Sakaja, which is the governor of Nairobi, I've chosen. In social hall here in Mbakazi, I've chosen Mbakazi. Babu Owino, I said it. I've chosen Sifuna, senator. I've chosen also Nyatika. I've chosen also Nyatika and Baba Wino, the MP of Mbakasi East. So Raila are the three people. I've chosen three apart from him, and I have also given that side two. Actually, I've given this side four. Raila, I've given four, four people. That is the MCA, Nyatika, a senator, which is Sifuna. I've given MP. I've given women representative, Basaris. So I've given Raila Omolodinga four votes in his block, and I've given the other side two. So they have all won. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. So what do I? Because I know, I used to. I'm also a prophet in a way, but I've messed up in a little. I don't know how to have chosen the president because they seem to be. I don't know. But that's actually according to my prophecy, according to my vision and dreams, because I am expert. So when I do this kind of calculation in theology, those are the people I've seen. God has shown me to in my prophecy, and also in my kind of business I'm doing in the Bible. Okay, to see we go to the divination kind of we want to do some kind of balloting in the Bible also, which is there. Okay, and those are the people now I ended up getting in my calculation and my dream and vision, which God has shown me. So I don't think I've done something wrong. I think the president still have time for him to correct his leadership. I think it's right. If you can obey what I'm saying, I think God wanted him to be the president because it's not we, but God, of course, a mysterious kind of exchanging power came in for him to be the president. So I cannot rule out saying that it was not God's will. It is God's will. God can choose sometimes even bad leaders for us to pray, like Pharaoh, like Nero in the Roman hero, and also Pharaoh in Egypt, and many others to punish us. So I am also part of the problem in a way. I'm sorry to say this because I've chosen the president myself. Okay, Dr. William Samarito and his deputy. Honestly speaking, and I've also chosen his governor, Sakaja. And I've given now Raila Omolodinga the rest of other leaders, four of them, because we only have 6 elected positions. So I've given UDA 2 and ODM 4. But none of them is actually seeing me as I've done anything. And I've been campaigning to those people who God has shown me that they are the leaders. All of them have been campaigning, honestly, on an open kind of arena. And I tell people also likewise whom to choose. And they have done it. They have followed what I've said. Because people now respect me in Mbakasi highly. I am a priest and I also teach pastors. And I used to go to many churches and they honor me. So those people have all ticked. 6 of them have won elections. And I thank God for that. So if we have some weaknesses among them, I think they can consult me also to advise them. Because that's the way God has shown me that they are right leaders. But if now they are portraying the images that they are not right, then there's a room also for us to give them some kind of biblical counselors therapies to be the right leaders in that case. Otherwise, may God bless you all human beings living in Kenya and beyond. And let the mass action go on until now the president, do some things and also change his mind, not to become stubborn. That's my word. I told him to go and read Exodus chapter 11, verse 3 and see the consequences, repercussions of stubborn leaders, how they normally end up being in problem. Saddam was one of them. He was warned by Americans not to overthrow Kuwait, and he did it. And he was attacked by Americans, and he was overthrown. And he has cleared all his family. Saddam Hussein and his sons, who have been in army, two of them. And the whole family is gone, and all is well, and all is, wealth. and they're all gone. So among other leaders also, Idi Amin of Uganda was warned not to become so stubborn in his leadership, and even attacking even other foreign nation countries, people like Israel. And then he was overthrown again by Tanzanians together with the Ugandans. And his family now is gone, all right, and wealth and health. In that case, death has occurred. So we don't actually our president to go in that kind of a way. He need to dialogue with us all, particular leaders, spiritual and political and administrators, so that we can give him advice. But if you want to become, stubborn, stiff-necked person, okay, kichwa ngumu, anapata kile anataka. Kwa sababu atatolewa. He was just employed. We have employed him and we can sack him anyway. It doesn't cost us anything to suck him. It does not necessarily even take a bloodshed. We'll just say we don't want you. And it happened like that. And he will be removed from office. On March 20th, the coming few days, if he will not change his behaviors of hostility and bad leadership, not providing people with social welfare and other goodies. Otherwise, may God bless you all human beings living in Kenya and beyond, and pray for this mass action to be fruitful in a peaceful kind of result outcome, so that there will be no bloodshed. And if it's God will for the president to be sacked from office, then let God will prevail. Otherwise, may God bless you all human beings living in Kenya and beyond. Amen.